Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Ritardando YouTube channel page. Myself Supreet CB. So the new syllabus piano initial grade. Starting with the pieces now, we have the first one as you see on the screen. That's Old German Dance. So this is being on the 100 BPM. So let me play the first two lines of this and then we'll go on a tutorial on this. So this is about my play or German dance. So before starting this piece, you have to look at the time signature and the key signature of this. By looking at the key signature, you can easily say that this piece is composed in C scale, that is C natural major scale, and you can also see the time sign is 4 on 4. After that, you have to see the dynamics. The first line is composed with the mezzo forte, that's moderately loud, and the next line is composed with piano, that is soft. I think you'll be knowing to read the notes as quick as you can. It depends upon your own individual capacity of that. So it starts with the C, T, E, E. So that is the four notes, the four quarter notes that we call crochets written in the first bar. So since all are the quarter notes, so they each take one beat, and hence 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 makes you the 4 beats. So I think you can just have a small virtual tempo in your mind going like 1, 2, 3 and 4. If you have this in mind, I think that will be easy for you to play with those virtual tempo. So the first beat is C. I'm going to play the C on the first metronome beat. When you switch on some metronome, it will always start from 1. Remember, not from 0. So when it is having the first metronome beat, always you start playing the first note, that is C. And since it is taking a beat, one beat, so the next note will be on immediate next beat, that is on the second beat, the D note, C, D, and the third beat you're going to play the E, because D is again a quarter note and also E is quarter note, hence the next E is on the fourth beat. So it's easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So easy to play on each beat. And one more thing you need to observe is about its articulations, whether the notes are written in legato, non-legato or staccato. Yes, if you already know about this, you can easily say the notes are in a casual non-legato. They are not even in legato, because to make it legato you need to have a slur line connected from any note to any, but there is no line, so you cannot play the notes like this now. So you cannot play all the notes with the connections, with the small or the smooth connections. All the notes should be a small part of detachment between them. See, and you have to lift your finger for a small amount and then go for the G, E, E. So as you see, there's a detachment. So that's about the 4 beats and respectively the 4 notes you're playing. And I think this continues in the second bar and also on the third bar. If you know to read the notes, then it is very easy to find out the timings also. So the second bar, the first beat, you have the F note. And since it's a quarter note, so the next D is appearing on the second beat itself, D. And the next two notes are E and third and fourth respectively. So this is, if you start from the first bar, then let me sing the beats on my mind. Let me say the beats as well. I'll play the notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again 1, 2, 3, 4. So in all the beats I'm playing each notes. And if you go to the third bar, I don't need to explain you much again. As usual, C, D, E, G. You have the fourth note as G there. And if you go to the fourth bar, but now you see there are minims. They are known as half notes. Half notes means they take half of a bar. If you look at here the first note, which is the F note, and is a minim, that means it is taking 2 beats, so first beat and second beat. And next is E note, that is also minim, so that will take third and fourth beat. So the first beat, if you play the F note 1 and 2, until the second beat completes fully, you're not supposed to play any other note. So 1, 2, and when the 3 comes, third beat comes, then you're going to apply the next E note. E, and E is third beat, and also I said you the fourth beat is being taken again by the same E note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that completes the whole line. So if you take from the beginning, so almost the first 3 bars it's filled with the quarter notes, and only the fourth bar is filled with the half notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I'm saying the beats, I hope you're also seeing my keyboard video on which beats the actual notes are played. So this is about the first line treble clef. Let's join the left hand for that, the bass clef. If you look at the bass clef of the first line, what you can see, it only says half notes on all the 4 bars. So they each take, all the 8 notes will take 2 beats each. So the first note is C note is here, and you have to find what's the next note. Yes, if you're well known to find out the notes as quick, so the answer will be the G note here. So C note you're going to apply with your pinky finger, because the most left side of your finger. So, and next you have the G note, so that should be played with your thumb finger, because if a C is played with the C, then common thing to know, D is on the fourth finger, and third finger on the E, second on the F note, and the first finger, the thumb finger, is usually on the G note. So the first bar, the notes you got the C and a G note. And you have to see one more thing, the left hand C is written under which beat, or also you can refer like on which note of a right hand, that is treble clef. For the right hand treble clef, we have the C note on the first metronome beat. At the same time, the first metronome beat, you have the C on your left hand. So both have to be on the same time with their own respective fingers. Yes, this is what I applied, the C with right hand the thumb finger, and the left applied with the pinky finger. And the second metronome comes, you're not supposed to play anything on your left hand, because your left hand C, whatever you played is a half note and going to sustain for the second beat also. But this is not the same story in the right hand, because the second beat you're going to apply the D note, but till then you're holding this pinky finger. And then third metronome beats, right hand you have the E note, and under the E exactly you have the G note with your thumb finger. Yes, you're going to play like this. And so that means if I show it again, so the first beat is same 1, 2. So remember, the second beat I did not play anything on the left, just sustaining the second beat also. So here it is, 1, 2, now comes 3, and fourth beat I'm playing only the right hand E note, as because you see the left hand there is no note. And also we see that the previous note, the G, is taking 2 counts because it's a half note or minim. So that's the complete of the first part. If you just play it on a flow of saying the beats on normal, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Also at the same time, keep observing that I'm playing in a non-legato format. That's very important, because I'm not connecting any notes here. See, I'm not playing like this. There's a lot difference between this and that. I will show you. So this is different. This is different. Many of the players play like this in this part, but I don't think it's not that much be correct, because I should go with a detached. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All the notes are detached in both treble clef and bass clef. And now perform the same thing on your second bar. So starting with the fourth finger on the F note, because already used C note with the first finger. So obviously if this is your first, and the fourth will be the F note here. So you have the right hand F. I have already taught you separately left hand, so now it's more to concentrate on the left hand. So left hand, which note you have? So the note is written on the third staff line. So third staff line means under bass clef is nothing but the D note, the second D note, D2 we can say. I don't need to explain in deep about the timings, because it is as same as that of the first bar. As again in the second beat, you don't have anything to play on the bass clef, just sustain the D note for 2 counts, as because it's minim, but you have something on the right hand on the second beat, that is D note, you played. So remember the first beat F along with the D on the left, and second beat only right hand D, nothing with left hand, and the third beat you have the right hand E note, and the left you have the C note. Yes, and the fourth beat you have the only E note, because the left hand C note is again half note. So you have the total like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what the second bar is composed with. So if you start from the first bar, let me count the beats also as slow as such you can understand it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then again 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue with the third bar with the same timing techniques. The first metronome beat, right hand C note, but the left hand you have the E note with your third finger. So 1, 2, and second beat you don't have nothing to explain you much about this, and you have the third beat, right hand E note, left hand C note, E, and you have the last beat, right hand G, whereas you don't have anything on your left. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how the third bar is composed. If you bring it from all the way from the first bar, it sounds like this.